All right, all right. So Libras, this is part 2, because part 1 was getting really, really long. And on top of that, Libras, you have a totally different video not connected to this one. The free link for part 1 will be in the description box, as is when the other one is done processing, so will be the other unconnected storyline, okay? So here's what we've got. If you didn't watch part 1, you'll be really lost right now, so you'll want to do that first. I left all the cards here. We are picking up right where we left off. This person is finally having a breakthrough. They want to be in Libra's world. All the opportunities that they had with Libra, if Libra had wanted to take some vacation with them once in the past, they invited them to go somewhere, do something. And I was suggesting maybe it was a trip to Greece, just because that is straight up all that we see here. I feel like Libra wanted to share the world or their interests and hobbies and fascinating things with this person. And at one point in time, they were like, oh, whatever, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do that. I think that this character was very dismissive of basically the essence of everything that Libra cared about and was interested in, and the way they lived their life, all because the truth of it is they wanted to change gears and live in Libra's world, but that is not the world that they had been raised and forged in. Their idea was, you live a very different quality of life. Now they don't want to miss those opportunities. Now they want to change tempo. They want to be in Libra's world. They also are acknowledging that they did this Libra wrong. They looked at Libra with like a dismissive attitude, and yet their heart wanted to be in Libra's life all along. So with the Four of Swords that came out sideways, they are wondering, is there a way, after all this time period of them acting like a freaking statue and there being like no emotion showed? Because I feel like this person, their mechanism for everything, when they see something that they want, but they think, I can't have that, I can't live my life like that, they shut off emotion. So I think that this person went ice cold on the Libra. They acted like they didn't even care possibly about the Libra. They stopped talking to the Libra, but they have been poring over, however they watch the Libra, social media, whatever it is, the Libra has been the primary focal point. And I say that because that Page of Swords was the very first card out after our presiding energy card, the displacement in part 1. So the focal point of their life has been to watch the Libra and try to dismiss, look at that silly life they're living. See how they're an earth muffin. See how they're this, they're that. Then why are you watching all the time, right? Why are you poring over this person that you keep trying to dismiss, when our Libra has been shown to be someone they make great decisions. They are extremely intelligent. They've made excellent business choices. They're living a life that is true for them. They don't compromise. They don't live in conflict with who they are or what they really want or what they really think. And this character who has wanted to be with them all along, but has done the exact reverse. They shut down their emotions. They push this away. They possibly did some silent treatment completely, I'm going to say, with that Four of Swords. And they acted like nothing mattered, yet they can't tear their eyes off of the Libra. They watch their every move because that's actually the life they want to have. So now they're admitting it, and they want everything that Libra once upon a time offered to them, right down to the vacation that they said, oh, I'd love to show you this. I'd love to take you here. I'm wondering if this is a relationship that just barely got off the ground and somebody was like, oh, you're one of those. Oh, you believe this way. And they totally categorized and almost like mocked the Libra's lifestyle choices because they couldn't comprehend it, when the truth of it is it's who they wanted to be inside as well. So with the Four of Swords sideways, we just got the Sun in the reverse. There's a part of them that doesn't really expect that they're going to be able to, they don't know how Libra would receive them. They don't. Will they be able to have this kind of happiness with the Libra? I mean, how do they, I don't know if this person is very good at humbling themselves either. We saw them with the Fool card, like they want to take a leap of faith and say it. We got the Lovers card here too. I'm wondering if this is a situation where they don't know what if the Libra has somebody else in their life. I mean, they've been watching and watching, but maybe they're now worried, what if I wouldn't make the Libra happy? It used to be that they were kind of like dismissing the Libra, even though they wanted the Libra. Nine of Swords sideways. They're very worried at this point. Very worried at this point. Could I fit into their world? Would they accept me into their world? Or am I going to be the odd person out? Is Libra going to roll their eyes at me and say, oh, you don't belong here? Lovers is a choice. Is this, and it's Gemini energy. This person could also be embarrassed if they had twin-like energy, meaning like they've been living a life that was inauthentic for them, claiming that they didn't want to be in Libra's world, when in fact the real version of them has wanted nothing more than to be more like Libra. Maybe they're a deeply intuitive and sensitive person who kept poo-pooing all that, dismissing all that, because they were living in this life that was all factory based. It was all, like, I feel like they lived in a world that was very, like harsh. It's all, tin and steel. And the Libra, by contrast, or at least the way they perceive the Libra, is somebody who's like earthy and more connected to the natural world. And it just looks like the truth of it is they are a blend. And maybe they're thinking, would Libra even be able to see me as someone who knows who I am? Or would they always see me as somebody who's like, I've got a duality to me where I don't know who I am? It's almost like this person has a bit of an identity crisis. They're stressed out, wondering, would Libra be happy with me? And how would they view me? Because we got a Four of Wands. This Four of Wands is, it's funny because we've got a couple of walking sticks here, and one of them has been turned into a full-on cane. Four of Wands is about building the kind of lifestyle that really feels balanced and lasts. And I think with the cane here is very specific, that somebody, maybe they're changing their mindset because they're aging and they're realizing, I've lived my whole life fighting some piece of myself. And then I met Libra and it was everything that I've always wanted to be. But instead I pushed it away more vigorously than ever. And now as I'm aging, I'm getting more real with myself. I'm seeing that this high-paced lifestyle that I live, this rat race lifestyle, this lifestyle of, like I say, tin and steel, isn't working for me. And the older I get, the more like I want the life that I could have with Libra to be as I age, as I need a cane. Maybe somebody does need a cane at this point, though. Maybe they've got a knee injury or something. But they are recognizing that this lifestyle is not only what they want now because they're getting older, but it's what they've always wanted. They're more balanced now than they've ever been. And I think that this is kind of happening to them in a flood. Maybe it's on the heels of having a knee injury and having to change their lifestyle a little bit. All of a sudden they can't keep up with that same lifestyle that they used to. And it's giving them a chance to actually, with this broken glass here with the Eight of Swords, maybe that is representing like, heaven forbid, but somebody, broke an ankle or something. And all of a sudden the career path that they've been so swaggering and proud that they live this really intense life, maybe they can't do that job right now. And they're finally having that breakthrough. Sometimes a negative experience actually brings a really amazing mindset shift. They're perhaps recognizing, I fought and fought and fought against changing my life, when the truth of it is I've always wanted to live a life more like Libra's. The Fool card is here because I almost think that this person has been given a chance to acknowledge this, to no longer fight it. I mean, this person has felt like they were in the wrong place for a long time, and the only way they could stay in the wrong place was to turn off their emotions. That doesn't really speak of someone who's been very happy. At this point in time, they are more balanced than they've ever been in themselves. They actually are recognizing what they want. They're wondering how Libra would see them. So what action are they taking at this point? We've got the Judgment card, and we got the Strength card. I mean, this is somebody who is, there may be a very particular day when it becomes loud and clear that it's time that I reach out to the Libra. It may be a significant day for them. Maybe it's, I don't know why, but I always think like somewhere in August or something, like when Sirius, the dog star, rises. I think it's like mid-August. I can't think of the day. I keep wanting to say August 9th or August 12th, 13th, 14th. So don't ask me if that's correct. I don't remember that off the top of my head. But there's a very specific day when the call to speak up is going to override anything else. The courage to reach out. And I think it's so strange, but I think that they opened the dialogue possibly by giving somebody a bouquet of flowers. It could be sunflowers, or it's just representing, it's still summertime when they do this. But they open up the dialogue by talking about, I've been thinking a lot about that trip that you invited me on, or I've been thinking a lot about a conversation that we had that might have had something to do with ancient history, ancient Greece, whatever this was. It's like they want to open up dialogue to say, like, a conversation that we had has never been out of my head. And I think that they want to begin the dialogue, not with, Libra, I love you, I've been watching you, I've always wanted to be with you, but more like they want to have like an intellectual conversation first, which could be very confusing because it's like, okay, I haven't heard from you. And now you're opening conversation with an intellectual topic. This could come across as very strange, but there's a reason for that conversation. We have the Hermit. They want to discuss what they've been thinking about in this time that they have been silent. Now, we also have Virgo energy here, so that could factor in as one character or the other. But they want to, you notice how we have the hourglass? It's almost like someone says, I've been thinking a lot about how much time we have, as human beings. I've been thinking about ancient history and the fact that people live their lives and then their time passes and then they're just a part of a history book. I've been thinking about what time we have. And I want to say that this character is like, at one point in their lives, they were just simply consumed with what was in front of them every day, every moment. They didn't really think about, am I liking the life that I'm living? Because this is all I've got. This is my history that I am writing every day of my life. And if I'm wondering if this person is going to say, I wrote down like what my life is made up of so far. And it was a real short list because I've been living a Groundhog Day of this. I've been living this Groundhog Day of this life of steel and tin that I had to shut down my emotions to even be able to keep doing the same thing again and again and again. And I realized I have whole years of my life where all I could write was, and then I went to work and I came home and I went to bed. And then the next day I went to work. I didn't have different experiences. I didn't do different things. So if I were to write the history of my life, it wouldn't be very interesting. And I think that's what this character wants to start the open dialogue with. I think that in their way, they have finally understood Libra. They have finally understood why the Libra lives the lifestyle that they do. The fact that they're trying to live with more intention, the fact that they're trying to listen to what they're guided to experience, to put effort into things that matter to them, so that the sum of their life is going to be, well, I was really interested in this, and so I pursued it. And then I chose to place myself step by step into a lifestyle that reflected, the reality of who I was. So I didn't have to dull my emotions just to be able to tolerate something. I think that they are wanting to explain that they understand the Libra now, and that they are, at the core of themselves, they too would like to match the Libra's energy, but they're trying in a really intellectual way to express it, is what this comes across as. Very interesting story. This is, I was going to say, gosh, do we always get these romance stories? And I want to do more than that, but I don't get to pick what cards come out. But you know what? This isn't a romance story. This is a very philosophical story. This is like the meaning of life, and recognizing that we can be inspired by people that are living according to their meaning of life. And I think that this character initially was almost like jealous, like, why do you get to live according to your meaning of life when I have to live like this? only to finally realize they don't have to do it that way either. They can pursue things that really matter to them. And that is not to say like factories and cities and the way that we have constructed the advancements in technology and all these things, they require a lot of effort, and that is an honorable and, you know, remarkable thing. The only thing that isn't like perhaps awesome and remarkable is if we loathe the task that we're performing at the expense of we're going to do it anyway and pretend that, you know, I'll just shut down my emotions and that's how I'll get by. You know, there are times in our life where we're going to be fascinated by this and we're going to want to go and partake in this, and we're engineers and we're building these things, and that is amazing. So it is not to say that any character that is like part of, you know, one cog in a big wheel, that is somehow not a great life, right? It's a fabulous life as long as you enjoy it, as long as that's where your interest is, as long as that's where your life purpose is. But if you are saying I am miserable, but see, aren't I brave? I can just turn off my misery and pretend that this is great, and be like, you know, wagging my finger at everyone who maybe chooses a different path. That was the thing that they had to have the breakthrough on. So let's put it this way. Had this been this character's happy place, if we had only had cards that supported this, like they were genuinely thrilled with the life that they were living, I would never have been ragging on this. But that's not what we saw. We saw somebody that was insisting that I am miserable, and that's what makes me superior, is I'll do the thing that makes me miserable. Ha ha. And it's like, well, I don't think that that's anything to be super proud of. You know, being a C, I can be miserable. Don't you wish you were like me? Well, no, I don't. That doesn't sound like a good time at all. That's what this storyline has really been about, is that breakthrough for a character to recognize that they can change their circumstances, they can change their life, they can change the things that they want to. So I'm going to leave that one there. It was definitely very thought-provoking, and it's kind of is looking like the Libra has been a bit of a leader in living the life that is more in accordance with who they truly are, and not losing themselves in the act of like pursuing, you know, prosperity and having a career. And it just seems like this character has a really strong sense of what is true for them. And they have been a huge inspiration to this other character, even though first they pushed away that Libra like nobody's tomorrow. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Much more of a philosophical storytelling. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.